Coin On.
Hey there, YouTube coin community. It's Dustin with Coin Op. Now, I know a lot of other channels, they'll do unboxing or mail calls and thing like that. I wanted everybody to see what a Coin Op mail call looks like. So this is today's mail. I literally just got from the post office. And I wanted to open it up on camera and let you guys see the kind of things that I get. Thought you might enjoy it. So let's take a look. First one is from Jody Gomez. Jay Gomez. Jody is one of the admins of the Coin Op group. Now, I had purchased from him a die trail, and I actually didn't realize I wanted an auction. I threw in a low bid, and surprisingly, because this is a really nice die trail, nobody else bid on it. So, and then it looks like he sent a freebie too. Very nice. I do have the scope out, so we can put things underneath the scope. I do have a glove here as well. Let's take a look. Let's see what he got. Ooh, he sent us a couple die trails. Oh, Unk Gem BU. The 2003 with reverse die trails. Looks like a 1997 uncirculated. And then we've got a 1995 with die trails. We will put these under the scope on Friday on Under the Scope. I'll show these 3 die trail examples with you. We might, if we have time, I might put them under the scope. I do know that the last one I'm going to be opening is a lot of error and variety coins. I thought you guys might find that interesting. Now, typically when people are doing their openings and unboxings on camera, it's bullion or silver or your standard coins. I'm an avid searcher, and I specialize with error and variety coins. So typically my mail is error and variety related. Now this one, I'm not too sure what's in here. Dan Groom, who is a viewer, he's one of our subscribers, recently won something, I believe. But Dan asked me for my shipping address and randomly sent me this. So I have no idea what's in here. So we'll see what Dan Groom sent. Dan, I want to thank you in advance before I even open this. Let's take a look. Ooh, good shipping practice. Oh, very nice. Let's take a look and see what he's got in here. Oh, wow. I actually showed images of this in Friday night's live stream this past Friday. This is the coin that Dan had sent me images of, where the date, the 6 in the date, had a die chip. It makes it, he called it the Sad Lincoln. If you watch Friday night's live stream, he called this the Sad Lincoln. It looks like he gifted it to me. Well, this will be a permanent addition to my collection. I like oddities like this. Even though it's only a die chip, it's just pretty neat. Once again, I'll put this under the scope Friday as well. If there is time, I'll put it under the scope here. Dan, thank you so much. That is really cool. I love this kind of stuff. I really do. I've got all kinds of weird little oddities. That's pretty freaking awesome. Now, this is the package that I was actually waiting on today. This is from Robert Lawson, who's by far an expert. Robert is the person that I go to when I have questions. If there's something that I can't answer, typically I will go and I will message the admins of the Coin Op group and see if they know. Or I will message Robert Lawson directly. Robert Lawson has been a part of Coin Op with me now for quite some time. He's helped me build this. So a lot of the stuff that he sends me, I'll either sell or they get used in giveaways or whatever, or we just go through and see what's what. Wow, he's got this. Let me show you something. When it comes to shipping coins, you don't want to be able to hear him rattle. He has this where if you were to shake this, you could not tell what's in here, and there are a lot of coins in this box. The other thing that he did, not only did he have it inside of this, but he had it in a box that looks like it's wrapped in packing tape and wrapped in heavy-duty duct tape. He's making sure that if somebody were to, let's say this were to get ripped open, he's making sure that nobody can get into this box and figure out what's in there. Because when you're shipping coins, if somebody knows there's a coin in that package, you better believe it will come up missing. When I first started eBaying, one of the first things I ever eBayed was 200 Mercury dimes in a lot, and they came up missing in the mail. Now, fortunately, the packaging was found, and the mail replaced my losses. They reimbursed me financially, but it took a couple months to get my money. It was not an easy process. Just avoid all that headache, all that drama. Make sure you pack and ship things very securely, and with coins, make sure they do not rattle or make noise. If you can hear the sound of change in there, somebody is going to open that. When it's in the processing plants, keep in mind, when you ship something out, it goes to a processing plant, and it figures out its destination. Sometimes they go to multiple ones. Well, that processing plant, it's factory workers. It's a whole bunch of regular Joes. You know, not everybody is on the up and up, even in a major company. So just always be prepared for things along those lines. Make sure, wow, there's a lot of stuff in this box. I'm just cutting the box straight open because with how much tape he's got on this thing, I don't know of another way. Let me cut down here. Oh, wow. This is his list of everything that he has sent me in this box alone. Let's see, yes, you see that. Let me get some of these packing peanuts out of here. This is typically what it looks like when I get coins in. When I order coins, I try not to purchase coins singly. I mean, there are times if I've ever bought from you from eBay, you would know I typically will buy 1 or 2 coins. But when I'm buying from another dealer, I try to buy in bulk. I try to buy a whole bunch of stuff. And the reason for that is when you're buying in bulk, you get a better deal. A lot of times when you bundle things together into one big purchase, you get a heck of a lot better price. So if I had purchased, now these I needed, these are just a 3-coin flip. You put 3 pennies in there, Lincoln cents, seal them up at a time. What I'm going to be doing with these is I've been amassing minor double dies that are visibly obvious. If you were to look under jeweler's loupe, you'd easily be able to tell it's a double die, but it's more one of the minor ones. They're not the popular double dies, so they're very affordable. So you can get them for, you know, 5, 10, 15 bucks. So what I'm doing is I'm collecting mechanical doubling, an example of die deterioration, and I'm going to have an example of a true double die, and I'm going to put together these into sets that show a true double die, mechanical doubling, which is not a true double die, and die deterioration, which again is not a true double die, and I'll have it in a set, so that way it'll be a good visual reference. Once you see an actual double die, you basically don't confuse mechanical doubling and die deterioration with them anymore. Let me get a little tray out here. I got these little trays to put stuff on as we're going through this. Wow, there's, ooh, check that out. Choo. This is an 1803 S Morgan dollar. That's beautiful. It's got a little bit of rim damage. It has some nicks and dings. The condition, it's probably a very fine plus details. Is that a semi-key date? 1 second. Now, I've got a microphone on. I'm not going to grab that. I'll stay put. I'll look that up here in a minute. All right, what do we have here? This looks like he's got tape on these. Now, Robert is very, very good at securing absolutely everything. Might need a razor blade just to cut around the tape. Might have to get up. I'm trying to eliminate standing up because I have a lapel mic on and it's corded. It is not wireless. It makes a lot of racket taking it on and off. But that'll work. These look like buffaloes. Just a bunch of buffaloes. Here's an entire roll of buffalo nickels. These look like common date, some no dates. These are just low-end buffalo nickels. I love, ooh, there's Liberty V nickel. I love low-end buffalo nickels. One of the things I enjoy doing, I know it aggravates some people, but I'm a coin searcher. I like junk coins. I truly do. I'm not going to lie to you. I like to collect junk coins. I don't see anything wrong with a coin that's been circulated. In my opinion, this coin has been in thousands of people's hands. The amount of history that this coin has seen is mind-blowing. So to me, this coin has more appeal than something that's been uncirculated inside of its wrapper for 100 years, you know? So I like a lot of that stuff, but I like junk coins. And one of the things I enjoy doing with dateless buffalo nickels... What the heck? I like taking them... I'm going to look at that one closer. I just saw something on one of them. I like taking the dateless ones and making acid dates. I have a little bottle of Nicodate, which they call it an acid date. But what you do with Nicodate is if you can't see the date on it, which means it's worn, it's already a trash nickel. It's as low grade as pretty much you're going to get. Now, if you can't read the date, well, not worth more than 50 cents. Probably not worth more than a quarter. I know when I buy dateless buffalo nickels in bulk, I'll buy them by 1,000 to a few thousand at a time. I'll get them as low as 10 cents a piece sometimes. So dateless buffalo nickels don't really carry any value. So damaging that coin isn't really going to really affect a whole lot. So I'll take Nicodate and I put it right on the date, and it's an acid that eats the metal away and restores the date. But the coin is permanently damaged. It will always have an acid mark. An experienced collector could take one look at an acid date and we immediately know that it was an acid treated coin. But when you make an acid date coin, you literally are damaging the coin. You're destroying it. But in my opinion, I'd rather see the date than not. So I do it. I like making acid date coins. They're fun at times. I've found a lot of really rare buffalo nickels to fill my collection that there's no way I could afford them. In standard time. This looked like a bunch of steel. Yep. Let me grab another tray. I don't want to mix them. Now right here we have an entire roll of 1943 steels. I'm going to have to search these. There's a reprocessed one. I'm going to have to search these for error and varieties. Let me show you something. When you are buying your wheat coins and you're searching, this is what a average circulated steel cent's going to look like. It's going to be dull. It's going to have a grayish little tone to it. It's going to be dirty looking. If you find one in your bag of circulated wheats and it's nice and shiny and looks like this, 9 times out of 10 it's been replated or reprocessed. It's real common for people to replate steel cents. And when they do that, it's basically a damaged coin. Well, that's odd. This is a steel looking coin, but this is 1945. It's impossible. Nope, I was just looking at it wrong. It's just corroded. So there's some steels. Let me put that aside. What have we here? Ooh, more steels. There's another roll of steels. Now, these are all fairly circulated steels. With the 1943 steel cents, they carry a little bit more value than most of your common wheats, but they are still a fairly common wheat. Now, it is the only year that they did them with steel. There is the error where in 1944 there's a few steels, and there is the error where there's a few 1943 coppers. Those are worth a lot of money. But typically, circulated like this, they're worth 5 to 15 cents. I sell these in lots. When I sell them, I'll put them in a lot of 50 to 100 of them, and I'll just put a price that reflects around 10 cents a piece, and they'll sell pretty quick. And if you think about it, when you buy wheat pennies, if you're buying wheat cents for 3.5 to 5 cents a piece, you're going to find a pile of those. So over time, I amass a lot of them, and then I just part them out like that. What have we here? Oop, this looks like a roll of Indian head cents. And it is. This is a roll of Indian head cents. Got to check these for snow varieties. Look for some rare dates. Ooh, it's an 1888. But this is an entire roll. Indian head cents. These are all Indian head cents, so that's a very nice roll. A couple of these that look like they're in pretty good shape. And right there, I just pulled that out. It's a common date. This is 1905, and it has nice full Liberty from what I can see on it. Oh yeah, very nice full Liberty. Has all 4 of its diamonds. Condition-wise, this would be a low VF. We're extremely fine. So that's already a good pull right there. I'll $5 to $7 just for that. So that's a good pull just looking at those. Let me put you up there. All right, we've got more rolls of stuff. Let's see here. We have an old bank wrap roll of 1960 Ds. I'm definitely going to be checking these. It's a good year for repunch mint marks. There's overdate. Or not overdate. Yeah. There's the large date over small date. Or should I say small date over large? Let's check these enders. Yeah, this looks very untouched. There's some good looking enders here. Well, we'll be searching that later on. Let's see. This looks like a roll of wheats. There's 1930 right there. So these will get searched later. There's 1919. So I'm seeing some young dates. There's a 1944D right in front of my face. Whew, that's exciting. What is this one? I'm going to have to cut this one open. Looks like this is probably going to be another roll of wheats. Yep, another roll of Wheaties. And these will all get searched later on tonight, tomorrow, next couple days. I'll be going through all of this stuff. I can already tell these are Wheaties. If you look, I don't know how well you can see it in the roll, but I can see 2 steals in that roll already. This is clearly going to be Wheaties if there's some steals in there. Yep. Yep. Right down. There's a steal right there. There's a 1943. Throw you in with those. So there's a bunch of steals in there. Let's roll those. What have we here? Oh, this looks like yet another roll of Wheaties. It's 37. See 1940, 39. 44S, 26. I see a couple younger dates. I love it when I open up a roll of circulated wheats and I see young dates. So it typically means somebody hasn't gone through it yet. When people go through them, most of the time they pull out anything 1930 and earlier, 1929 and earlier. So if you're looking through a pile of wheats and there's no steals in it, and they're all 1930s. And when I say 1930s, they're going to be pretty much 1930, 1934, 1936, and 1937. Maybe a couple 1939s. Then the rest will all be 1940s and 1950s. Chances are somebody searched that. Now, you're going to hear people use the term with wheat cents unsearched. Chances are it is not unsearched. You got to keep in mind, people have been hoarding these things for a long time. They've been searched excessively. Most people are only searching them, though, for key dates and semi-key dates and obvious things like 1909s, 1909S, 1909S VDB, 1911 through 1915 with the D and S mint marks, especially the 1914D, 1931S, 1924 or 25. I don't know, there's a bunch of key dates. 1931S, yeah, there's a bunch of different key dates. 1922 plain, 1955 double die, 1917 double die, 1936 double die are typically what you'll find pulled out. That in the 1944s, the 44Ds, and the 1946Ss, you're going to find them pulled out too. If you find them and they're missing all those things, somebody's been through it. Now let's move on to some varieties. Right here we have a 1957D, which is a double die verse. Looks like we have a couple of them. We have a 1947 S Lincoln Cent. This is listed as RPM 2. Oh yeah, this definitely is. It's a 1955 buy error. Now a lot of this stuff I'm going to put under the scope. I'll show you a lot of this stuff on Friday's video. I just wanted to show everybody. Wow, that's a nice RPM. That's a 1951D RPM 1. That's beautiful. It's a buy error. And Mark 16. That's a good one. Yeah, that's an obvious one. Buy error, buy error. A lot of repeats. RPM 23. Yes. There's a double die. This is a 1955D double die adverse. That's a nice one. There's a 1943 steel cent. Right there, that's a double die adverse. Chances are, yes, that's the good one. All right, that is a really sweet double die. You know what? I want to show this to you right now. Let me Let me set up so that we can see this under the scope real quick. Let me add another video source. I'm going to put this up in the corner over here for right this minute. Let me get this turned on. And stuff out of its way. Oh, Robert Lawson, you amaze me with some of the stuff that you send me. And I don't know if you can hear that, but I forgot to put my phone on silent before I started filming this. I'm probably going to have to take this out of here for you to really see this. Let me be gentle here. Let me get a glove. Coin handling time. I know for some of you, the idea of handling coins wearing a glove might seem a little excessive, but I want you to keep in mind that when you're handling varieties, it is always better to be safe than sorry. If you touch a coin, I'll show you with a regular coin. I should have one somewhere. Maybe in my pocket change. Ah, there we go. If you take a regular coin, and let's say like a nice uncirculated Lincoln cent, and you touch the front of it just like that, in about a week to 2 weeks time, your fingerprint is going to be permanently toned into that coin. It will stand out like a sore thumb. And that takes away from the value of your coin. When you send that off for grading, well, now it has an unsightly fingerprint on it. It will detract from grade. So especially with uncirculated coins, you don't want to be fingering them up. You don't want to be touching them with your bare hands as little. You want to be handling them with your bare hands as little as possible. Now let me get this focused in, zoomed in, and show you what's going on. This is the 1943 double die that shows as extreme extra thickness, which can be seen on the date, Liberty, and the motto. You definitely see it on the motto. And if you look at how fat the tail of that 9 is, we're going to zoom in on it. But that's a lot of what we're going to be looking at. Second, zoom you down. Voila. Now, if you look at how big that is, that tail of that 9 is, it's huge. Big, fat tail. Very, very thick. And look at the 4. You can see it on the 4 as well. And, of course, on that 3. We're going to come over here to the motto. I mean, to Liberty. We'll look at the motto here in a little bit. But you can see the way it... Let me zoom back out. Zoomed in too far here. I want to get this in here so that you can see it real well. If you see the way it contorts Liberty, gives it a kind of an odd look to it. I can spot this double die a mile away just by the way Liberty looks. I don't even need to see that fat tail on the 9. Yeah, on the 9. And you see, I have extra thickness all over it, all over the devices. This is a very nice example, too. Very beautiful example. Let's take a look at the reverse of this real quick. Let's get a good feel for this coin. This is definitely a nice grade. In my opinion, this coin has been lightly circulated. I would say this is probably an AU example. Well, it's either a high AU or a very low MS. So that is just absolutely beautiful. That is a wonderful double die. That will carry some nice value. Oh, that is awesome. That just made my day. Let me bring this camera out of view for a few. Let's see what else we have here. Finish going through this pile. I think I might have. Just double check. Okay, those are all repunched mint marks and buy errors. Oh, here we go. That's something cool for you. Here is an 1820 over 19 large cent. Let me put this under here. Pull that scope back over. This is a large cent. This is very beautiful large cent. Now this is a lower grade one, but it still is very nice large cent. This is 1820 over 19. We'll have to look at this closer because it is low grade. But Robert Lawson, he knows what he's looking at. And typically he is right. Now unfortunately I'm getting a lot of glare because I still have it in its holder. I'm going to take it out of the holder later on, do all the stuff that I need to with it. There's an 1820 large cent. That's beautiful. We have a 1966 SMS set Kennedy $half. That's a double die adverse. I wonder if we could see that doubling right here without having to take it out. Probably we'll have to take it out of the holder, which we'll do on one of the Under the Scope Friday night episodes that I do. We'll do it live. Let's see if we can't see some doubling on this one. This is a proof double die. We'll have to take a look at this one here under the scope here in a bit. Let's see, we've got another one. There's another 1966 DDO from the SMS set. DDO 26. What are you? You're not listed. There's a 1959 and a 1963 Washington quarter type B reverse. There's a silver Washington quarters with the rare reverse. 1961. There's some more. There's a 1958 type B reverse. There's a 1945 silver war nickel with a clipped planchet. Let me show you the clip underneath here. It's a 1945 wartime nickel that has, oh, there it is, a curved clip, well, ragged clip right there. There's a nice little clip planchet on a 1945 silver wartime nickel. Let's take a look at the steps on it. I always check the steps. You never know. No, that's not going to be a full step. Let's see. Oh, here's a 1921 Buffalo nickel. This is a 2 feathers variety. This is a wonderful variety right here. They call this the 2 feathers variety. There's the feather here. There's 1 feather. There's the big feather that's 2. And right there's supposed to be a 3rd, a small one, and it is polished off. They over-polished the die on these and wore off that 3rd small feather that should be right there. That's a 1921 2 feathers variety. Wonderful Buffalo nickel variety. All right, here we go. We have a 1902 Liberty V nickel that features a clipped planchet. Let me show you that. There's a nice curved clip on this circulated 1902 Liberty V nickel. All right, here's a 1935 Buffalo nickel that also features a small clipped planchet. This is a very mild clip, but it does have, let me find it on the rim here, but it does have a clipped planchet. There it is. It's a little tiny clip right there on the rim. Very tiny clip. That's a 1935 Buffalo nickel. Oh, here you go. Oh, God. Get out, Robert. You just made my whole day. I enjoy tokens from time to time, and here are some Civil War tokens from 1863. Well, let me turn you around, and I've got you upside down. Once again, these ones, I'll image these and add them into a video and actually show you these for real without all this glare and under super magnification. Looks like George Washington. Let's see what the reverse of this guy looks like. Ooh, there's cannons right there. That's cool. I love a lot of the Civil War tokens. A lot of them are just really awesome. Here's an 1861 through 1865 Army-Navy Civil War token right there. I don't know how well you can see this under the scope. It's pretty worn. And I'll be able to see it too well under the scope. I'm going to have to take it out of that. And here's an 1863 Army Navy Civil War token as well. Just throw you under just for a second. It's another 1863 Civil War token. Army and Navy on the reverse. That's pretty cool. That just made my day. That's awesome to see. Ooh, what have we here? The toning on this is wild. 1942S. And it's a double die. I can clearly see it on Liberty. 42S double die verse. But this is some really wild toning going on. I don't think you're going to be able to see the toning that well underneath the scope. But it's got some crazy colors going on. It's clearly in a wrapper for an excessive period of time. And it just is some amazing greens and stuff going on with toning. And the reverse is this nice rosy soft color in the center, and it comes out and gets more vibrant towards the edge. Beautiful coin. That's a double die reverse. It's a minor double die, but it is a double die. We have more. And wait, there's more. A lot more. Okay, let's see here. We have a 1951 D over S Lincoln Cent. Once again, these are in the plastic, so they're going to be hard to see. So 1938 S over S RPM. There's a 1942 double die. 56 D over D WOM1. That's a good punishment mark. There's a double die, 1951 double die. There's a 1940 double die. Punishment mark. Ooh, there you go. That's pretty cool. There you go. There's something odd for you. This is a nice little mint error. This is a 1983 Lincoln Cent that's uncirculated. This came out of a roll, an uncirculated roll, and this is unplated. It was never plated with its copper coating. Now, this is a 1983 that is just the zinc. It is an unplated, was never plated. Never had its copper plating. This is not replated. This is an actual mint error. This is missing its copper plating. Typically in circulation, if you find a Lincoln Cent that is silver in color and it's not a 1943, most of the time they've been replated. Sometimes though they're the mint error where it's just not plated. This happens to be one of those mint errors. How wild would that have been if it was the double die reverse? It's not. That is an unplated 1983 Lincoln Cent. Uncirculated one. That's pretty cool. Alrighty, what do we have here? We've got a D over S Buffalo nickel, 1938 D over S. That's a nice Buffalo nickel right here. Really good details. And again, I'm going to have to zoom in for you to see this. Let's take a look at that horn. How much of that horn? Ooh, we have a full horn. Nice. That makes me happy. Here's a 1941 double die reverse type 2. DDR-002. Yeah, which shows extreme extra thickness on the stalks, on E. pluberis unum, the dots. It looks like a little bit on 1 cent, but very minor on 1 cent. Let me see if we can see this with it in its wrapper without taking it out. I have one coin that's already out of its wrapper, and I don't like taking out multiple ones from their 2x2s. And the reason I don't is they can get mixed up. I have a ton of coins. I'm constantly going through stuff, and if I take something out of its holder and I don't reholder it, it will get lost in the mix for a while. So I try not to unholder too many coins at once. But if you look, E. pluberis unum, the E is real fat, the dot is fat. All the way around, E. pluberis unum is really fat. And then if you look down at the bottom of the stalks, that's another place. You see they're about twice the thickness of what the stalks typically would be. These big, thick stalks. That's a beautiful coin. A little bit on one. Not much. Okay, let's move on. We got a 1945 double die type 3. Let's see. You can see that. This is a minor one as well. Most of these are more minor double dies, but they are double dies. I love error and variety coins. Trying to see. I think this is going to have a doubled eyelid, if I'm remembering right. It's been a while since I searched for one of these. Let's see. Yeah, he's got a little double eyelid there. And a little bit of a double eyelid. Let's take a look down here at the date again. Very minor double die. Let's come over and check out Liberty. A minor double die. Let's see. G61L. What? I don't understand what's marked on that. This is a 1971S, but I don't understand the markings of how they have this coin labeled. So, might as well just go take a look. If I can zoom it in. I have to zoom out to zoom it in. Center that, and I'm going to zoom back in on this. When you're zoomed in too far with your scope and you move the coin around, it is really hard to figure out your placement on the coin. So sometimes you have to just zoom out and reset. Otherwise, you'll be spending forever just trying to get it zoomed back in right. Now, I'm just trying to see. I don't know what's going on with this one. I don't even know if it's an error or variety. I can't tell by the way that they have the coin marked. I'm not really seeing a whole lot with this. Oh. I'm going to have to look at this one with my loop. I think I saw something on Liberty. Sparked my attention. Let me take a look. I don't know what's going on with that one. All right, here's a double die quarter. It's a 1936S RPM2. Ooh, here's a 1964 Hot Lips variety Roosevelt dime. Nice silver dime. That's a Hot Lips variety. Let's take a look at that real quick. So it's a 1964 silver dime. And this is the Hot Lips variety. That there was an article last year written about this coin. This is a relatively new discovery. This is a nice little double die. Doubling can be seen right there on the mouth. If you've ever heard of the 1955 Bugs Bunny variety with the Franklin halves, this is pretty similar. It affects the mouth. You can see a little extra on the mouth. So that's a nice little double die right there. There we go. And last but not least, we have, I could take this out of the racket here. We have a wartime cent set shell case copper this is actually pretty cool. I've never seen this one before. This one has 1942, 43, 44, and 45 Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. So it's all of your Lincoln cents from when we were in time of war. Well, this is just a nifty, neat little set right here. This is pretty cool. I haven't seen that one before. It's sealed in there real nice too. I like that. That's pretty nifty. Okay. Well, there's a coin op unboxing for you. It's about once a week. This is what my mail looks like. I get mail almost every day. People sending me stuff. But I constantly have to keep inventory in stock. Now, typically, I wasn't into selling coins. And when I started this YouTube channel, you'll hear in past videos that I make mention that it's very rare that I sell coins. Well, if anybody follows me on Facebook, you'll know the last few months I've been occasionally listing coins. Now, I don't list a whole lot. I list a few at a time. But with Robert Lawson as a partner and with CoinOp, there's been a draw and a desire for coins that come from me. So I've been going out and tracking down error and variety coins. I like to have stuff that I can use for you for giveaways, stuff to give away, give out. Keep you guys all happy. It's always good. But this is really turning into something. I mean, I've got all these piles of coins. This is every week. At the end of the week, all of this stuff will be gone. I'll have none of this anymore except stuff that I personally want to keep. Oh, I'd like to thank Dan Groom for sending me the coin that he did. Your sad Lincoln has got a permanent home. That thing is pretty cool. I'm going to hang on to that. I think that is awesome. I'd like to thank Jody Allen Gomez for your 3 trail dies. Yeah, die trails that you sent me, which I will end up using these in a video. I only have one video that I talk about die trails at all. And that is something that actually I need to do more videos on, because that is a variety that you should be looking for. They do carry a premium and they're really cool. They're very neat. So look for that down the road. I'm going to do a video. I'll feature these coins in there. This is just cool. I love getting goodies. I can't wait to check out this old bank wrapped roll. All these double dies. There's the coin from Dan Groom. And once again, a huge thank you to Robert Lawson, who definitely keeps my coin addiction satisfied. I would like to eventually, and I just want your opinion on this, I would eventually like to do a video where I show you searching for error in varieties. I know a lot of YouTube channels, they live coin roll hunt and all of that, and that's fine. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that at all. But I would like to film a small session of me searching maybe wheat cents or something and show you what it is that I look for and how I actually search when I'm sitting down searching. So I thought that might be a cool idea. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment if you think that's a good idea. Let me know. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know. I know this probably wasn't the most entertaining out of all the videos I've ever done, but I've never really done a mail call or unboxing like that, and I figured why not? Maybe you would all want to see the kind of stuff that I get in when I get coins in. I literally get piles of them, lots of them. I get really cool stuff, and I go through them really quick, believe it or not. So I hope you enjoyed that. Have fun.